Like now, I don't know what you're gonna say if you're trying to say you're trying to get to know both of us. I'm not doing that again. We already did that with Uma. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't take someone else coming in for you to be unsure about what we have. That's completely two different situations.
I understand.
I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. I've been feeling low because of the situation with Mimi and Ayub, just because nobody deserves to go through that. But I've really loved the way she's carried herself. Kudos to Mimi. She needs to teach a masterclass to these Villa girls. Anyway, I'm happy that she's immune from the dumping on Sunday. So, at least, on the bright side, she doesn't have to worry about whether she's vulnerable or not. But the malicious part of me wants Jess and Hugo to be vulnerable, Sean and Matilda to be vulnerable, Uma and Will. Not because of Uma, but because of Will. I want him to be vulnerable because of his messy self and the way he was moving around the villa. And I also want Nicole to be vulnerable just because she is tearing that man apart. That poor boy is about to come out of the villa with grey hair at 21. I can only imagine what it will be like in the real world. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 11, Episode 29. So the islanders wake up in the morning and Mimi comes up. Obviously, she slept on her own. You had the guys that slept on the day beds, and the girls are really surrounding Mimi, which is amazing because this is different from her time with Uma. I think now they've grown a very strong bond. I know she's always been close with Kieran, so to see Nicole be close to her and supportive was amazing. Because while they were in the changing room, Nicole asked her, "Do you want a hug? Are you okay?" She was checking up on her, which was good, which was really good. So the islanders go for a debrief, and you have Uma and Matilda sort of talking about Sean. And it's like Sean was messy. Sean was messy because he played with the Casa girls and then went back to Matilda. So he switched from one to the other just because he wanted to get a taste of all of them and then went back home. And for Matilda, yeah, for her to say, so what, she likes a sweet and innocent young man and that's what she thinks Sean is. Well, I wouldn't, bank on that because you still have to get into the real world and he has to show you who he is in the real world. So if you chose him because of that's who he is, good luck to you. You have Ayo having a conversation because Ayo's sort of saying that he, just because he chose Jess doesn't mean he doesn't have any feelings for Mimi. And it's like, bruh, the moment you chose Jess, your feelings for Mimi should have been put to the side because you showed a lack of respect for Mimi. You showed that you didn't feel for her because if everybody else was going buck wild in the villa and then on recoupling day they decided to stick to their partners, why didn't you do the same? So you felt since Mimi had been okay with the first love triangle, she was going to be okay with the second one. This is why you chose Jess. And when Mimi turned around and told you, nah, we're done, you're suddenly, oh, but I feel for Mimi. You don't feel for Mimi. You have no respect for Mimi at all. No respect. Because if you had respect, the first words out of your mouth should have been, I am sorry for leaving you out there. I am sorry for embarrassing you. I am sorry for not putting you first and putting myself first. Those should have been the words out of your mouth. And so for you to say you're sorry, I don't get it. I even actually saw an interview with Ronnie and everyone is baffled. Even the islanders that were in the villa are baffled at Ayo's movements because apparently it seemed Ayo and Mimi were very strong, so they don't understand. Dami before has said there's something wrong with Ayo. Nobody can understand why he doesn't see how much of an asset Mimi is. And so I don't know. Sean obviously is still worried about his shenanigans in Casa and is worried that Matilda is going to find out. And then you have Mimi sort of speaking to Jess, surprise, and Nicole, and she's really breaking down because this is too much for anyone. This is too much. The fact that she had to sleep alone in a room and she had to sort of process all that information on her own. This is heartbreaking. This is really heartbreaking for her. And I give it to her. She deserved that cry. She deserved that cry. And I'm happy that the girls were there to support her and tell her that we're here for you. Anytime you need us, we're here. We're going to stand with you. You will be fine. I hope at recastling, I don't even know I hope at recoupling, I don't even know who would pick her though, because she's the only single person in the villa. Because at least if there was an extra boy, then we would say yes, someone would recouple with her. Unless they bring in a boy and then they have a dumping after, that would be amazing. If they brought in a bombshell for Mimi and then had the dumping afterwards, then hopefully she'll be safe and we can keep going. And then Ayo can continue with this person and she can find love elsewhere. I know for a fact there's a line outside the villa queuing all the way to the UK for people who are willing and ready to date Mimi because she is an asset. Anyway, you have Uma receive a text message to say Diamante and Lucy want to have a chat. And you can see now Sean is panicking. Will is panicking. And Joey's like, oh, Will is worried. He should be worried because he was lucky enough to win someone who looks like Uma and he doesn't value that. So he doesn't deserve her. So you have, Matilda and Uma meet with Diamante and Lucy. Did they lie? No, they told them everything that happened. And it's now up to the girls to process and decide what they want to do. These boys, because at the end of the day, I think especially Matilda was too in your face, not knowing exactly what had happened. If I were her when I came from Casa, I would have sat down and actually listened to what the girls were saying. And I think she realized that she couldn't come with smoke because Diamante would burn her down. So I was actually very civil and very sort of respectful in how she sort of went about the conversation. And I don't know how the boys are going to get out of this because you had the boys back at the villa sort of trying to tell Will that, you'll be fine. And he was sort of saying, oh, well, I told her the truth. So I was just exploring. And it's like, yeah, you were exploring, but you did some things that were not right at the end of the day. So it's up to you to sort of come out and be honest with Uma. And I don't know whether Uma at this point will be willing to listen to anything you have to say because you had a chance to do something about it and you didn't. So it might be a bit too late. You have Mimi sitting with Nicole. And they're just having a conversation and she's being asked, are you going to speak to Ayo? And she went, nah. Are you going to speak to Jess? And she went, nah. If they want to talk to me, they have to come to me. And across from them, you have at the mini fire pit, Ayo and Jess. And Jess is moaning, oh, Mimi would have been my friend on the outside because she's similar to my friends, but I don't think at the moment she wants to be my friend. What do you think, Sherlock Holmes? What do you think? What do you think? If that were you, would you want to be best friends in that situation? Make it make sense. And then the audacity to say, oh, I don't think she'll want to swimming costumes with me. And it's like, who wants to share a swimming costume with you? Who wants to get HPV from you? Why can't people be sanitary? Who wants to share swimming costumes with anyone? Seriously, it's more or less like sharing panties. Who would share panties? Who? Go to Marks and Spencer. Go even to Peacock and buy a swimming costume if you don't have one. Does Love Island not provide them? Oh my God, I'm furious. The audacity. So now you're the victim because Mimi is refusing to befriend you. The fact that Mimi is heartbroken has nothing to do with you. Make that make sense? I don't get it. I really don't, and I'm furious. And then you have Ellie have a conversation with Nicole. I think Ellie was sent by the producers. I think the producers sent Ellie to go and wind Nicole up because Nicole has been too quiet. So they wanted to be a part of the drama. And so she went and she told Nicole about her chats with, Kieran on the outside, how, they were chatting, how they met up and stuff. And this was so quick to wind Nicole up. And it's like, I thought you said you trust him. If you trust him, why are you then upset? Why are you upset? You said you trust him because he didn't do anything in Casa. Now suddenly you are upset. You're having to call him to the fire pit for a chat. You're having this back and forth. You're now upset. You're fuming. You're telling the girls, I feel some type of way. Please make it make sense. Make it make sense because it doesn't. It really doesn't. Either you love this guy and you trust him or you don't and keep it moving and you will find your person. That's it. Anyway, the girls come back from their dates with Lucy and at Diamante and ask the girls to come to the fire pit for a chat. So before the girls come back, you have Kieran having a conversation with, Ellie to sort of say, why did you tell, Nicole whatever you did, because now you're stirring the pot and now we're about to have problems when we shouldn't be having problems. You needed to mind your own business and whatever. And it's like, please, it's not that deep. It's either this girl trusts you or she doesn't trust you. at the end of the day, you can only do what's in your best interest. If you want to continue to put up with Nicole and her excesses and her constantly accusing you of not being faithful, then it is what it is. Or else you can choose to leave Nicole and explore connections with other people, unless you feel that you stand a better chance of getting a lot of traction with Nicole. And so this is what you're going to do. Otherwise, I'm not buying the Nicole act. I think Nicole is too much for you. I think you're too young to be putting up with a lot of the stuff that she puts you through. So it's up to you to decide, do you want to continue to grow this connection, or is this enough for you and you're done? He stormed off, and it's like, yeah, Ellie was wrong in how she brought it up, but still at the end of the day, it's not that deep. It really is not that deep. You don't need to be that upset with her. You can either choose to, continue with Nicole, or you can just move on. So the girls then, obviously they're back. They have a conversation with the rest of the girls about the situation with the boys in Casa. And you have the boys listening in. Sean is not as innocent as he makes out. He's not as innocent as he makes out, because he makes out as though he's this naive person who's very appreciative to be there, who can't believe his luck that he's there and he's found a girl who really likes him. Because for him to tell Will that don't worry, because Will was panicking that what are we going to do, and he said to Will, don't worry, there's 3 sides to every story. There's your story, her story, and then there's the truth. And it's like, so he's done this before. He has played girls before, and he knows how to get away with it, and he is going to do exactly the same thing now because of what he's saying. Because otherwise, if he was as innocent as he's been acting, or as he's been making us believe, then he wouldn't be saying things like that. Anyway, all the islanders go and get ready for the night. And so after they get ready for the night, they get their drinks. The boys get their drinks first, and then the girls. And the boys are sort of just talking about the fact that there's going to be drama, and Will and Sean had better be prepared. My words won't come out again. Anyway, so you have this girl, Jessie, pull Mimi for a conversation. This girl is getting on my nerves. The fact that she's asking, what can I do? What can I do? What do you think, Sherlock Holmes? What do you think? What do you think? If you were in that position, what would you do? What would you want the other person to do? Oh, he should have told you, that way you'd have known. Yeah, he didn't tell her, and this is where she is. So what do you want her to do now? Oh, don't be afraid to show your emotions. Who are you to tell her how she should feel and how she should display her emotions? Allow the girl to be. She doesn't want anything to do with you. She hasn't asked you for an apology. Just allow her to live and enjoy the moment. Thank you. That's all she needs. Oh God, she gets on my nerves. I know everyone is dragging Ayo, but for me personally, the most dangerous person in the villa is Sean. Sean has been able to play this character of this dopey, ditzy boy who is just glad to be there, who is just happy to be amongst everyone, who's happy that, he's got a girl who really likes him. Because he sat down with Matilda and decided to put on his act, his innocence. Oh, I am happy that I have a girl who's very beautiful like you, who really likes me. I know I did kiss a couple of girls, but it was just to see if my connection with you was strong. I haven't had the opportunity to explore a connection. And it's like, please, who are you playing with? Who are you playing with? The fact that Matilda is even sitting there and entertaining this nonsense and is being outsmarted by Sean is baffling for me. It's baffling. It's baffling. I don't get it. I really don't get it. You have Sean sit down for a conversation with Jess, and it's like Jess is very vindictive, malicious, and spiteful. That's what I'm going to say. Because at the end of the day, Jess still hasn't got over the fact that Hugo and Matilda had a conversation. She still hasn't got over that. So she has the audacity to reveal to Sean that, yes, Matilda is upset with you, but she was doing the same. She was exploring a connection with the boys in Casa. Had she got her way, she would have come back with Hugo. And it's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? What business of yours is it? I hope Matilda gives her as much smoke as she's giving out, because she got away with doing a lot and saying a lot of things to Harriet, because Harriet wasn't confrontational. But Matilda looks like she's one of those people, if you want to go there, she will go with you. I'm so confused. How are these girls being played by these idiots? How are they being played by these idiots? Anyway, so you have Ellie. She obviously had the conversation with Nicole, which then resulted in Nicole being upset with Kieran, and now she's upset with her partner Trey. Anyway, Nicole and Kieran have a conversation and Nicole is spazzing out. And it's like, this is not healthy. This is not healthy because Kieran is asking her, so what do you want me to do? How long will he continue in a relationship where he's constantly asking his partner, what should I do to make you happy? What should I do to make you happy? That's not good enough. If she cannot trust him, if she cannot be happy on her own, he cannot make her happy. She is coming with a lot of baggage. She's already said she's dated a rugby player who's treated her badly. So no matter what Kieran does, she's always going to find fault in it. He needs to ask himself, am I prepared to put up with this any longer, or is it time for me to move on and try something new? Because at the end of the day, this is not really worth his time or his patience to continue to fight for something that is not working. Ellie is on the terrace with Trey. They're having a conversation, and Trey is saying, I don't want us to fight over this stupid stuff. I don't think it's worth it. I think we need to focus on us as a couple and try and grow our relationship. She gets upset about that. This is what I think. I think when Nicole came to the villa, Alice realized that maybe she was better than Nicole and is questioning why Kieran would, be content with that when she is there. And so she's decided to start some drama, and she knows that for a fact that if there's a dumping, she's going to be dumped. So without a storyline, she has nothing to talk about when she leaves the villa. And I think this is why she's decided to stir the pot. That way, when she leaves the villa, she has stuff to talk about in regards to her connection with Kieran and what they did and what they talked about. That's what I get. And then Uma, seriously, the audacity. How are you being played by Will? How? Looking the way you look, how are you being played by Will? Make it make sense, because to me, it's not making sense. He doesn't deserve you, and he's not the type of guy who should be playing you. So I don't get how you're allowing this idiot to play you. How? He was very dismissive. Oh yeah, well, I didn't want any of the other girls in my bed. That's why I asked her to stay in my bed. Yeah, I was exploring a connection. These girls are only here for 2-3 days. So, we have to make the most of it. And it's like, yeah, you have to make the most of it. That doesn't mean locking lips with someone. That doesn't mean it. And he's asked, why were you comparing? No, I just said, it took me a day to kiss her, whereas it took me a week to kiss you. And it's like, still, there's no need for you to be saying that. It's either you like this girl, you have something in common with her, you have something that sparked, or that's it. You don't need to bring me up. Why are you bringing my name into this? What have I done? What has my name got to do with this situation? I wish she had said more, and I wish she had just left him, because it comes across as though Uma is very desperate, and so she can't leave this guy. And sadly, this is her first relationship, because she said she's never been in a relationship, and he's telling her, you're making it seem as though I cheated on you. We are not in a relationship. And it's like, I would have said to him, oh, okay, thank you. Turned around and looked for somebody else. It's the audacity for me. It's the audacity. Ayo and his girl are not enjoying their time. Mimi is living rent-free in their minds. They keep dragging her for chats, and it's like, why? Why? She pulled her for a chat. Oh, I know you feel some type of way. I would have liked us to be friends, but I understand how you feel. And it's like, what do you think, Sherlock Holmes? Then he pulls her for a chat. And it's like, so the two of you were expecting Mimi to be in a fetal position, crying for Ayo, and the fact that she's not doing this, and the fact that she's not being loud, she's not screaming, she's not shouting, she's just there chilling, enjoying her best life, enjoying the sun. This is agitating the two of you. It's winding you up. It's grating your nerves. So the two of you are trying to decipher, why is she not crying? Why is she not upset? What do you think? What do you think? She has more self-worth. She has more self-love. She knows herself. She knows who she is. So she's going to stand on her 2 feet and with the chest held high. And, it is what it is. For him to say, oh, you don't need to hide your emotions. What do you want her to do? You want her to cry so that you feel better by seeing her cry. What do you want her to do? And I give her credit for telling him it was good while it lasted. It is what it is. You have chosen somebody else. I will keep it moving with life. And I know that after the dumping, a new bombshell is coming. And I can't wait for the bombshell. Hopefully, he likes Mimi. And Mimi can give it her best go. I want Mimi to win. She deserves to win. For nothing else, because of the elegance and grace she's carried herself with, she deserves to win. She deserves to win. And for Aya to continue to be flirting with her, you can see Jess is following him with her eyes, and it's like, what did you expect? These people have a history. If, Grace could have a history with Joy Essex after knowing him on a holiday, they've been together on holiday as well for 4 weeks. So what do you think, Sherlock Holmes? And to be waiting outside the bathroom for him while he's brushing his teeth. He is trying to be sweet. He's trying to sort of get Mimi back on his side, and it's a bit too late. I want Mimi to give him a taste of his own medicine. I want her to sort of keep it going. So, and for him to follow her in the bathroom, it's like, oh my god. Oh my god, make it make sense. And you have Jess sitting outside and waiting for Ayo, and it's like, why are you waiting? What do you think will happen? Jess knows there's something there between Ayo and Mimi. They've been together for weeks, for 4 weeks. So what do you think, Sherlock Holmes? What do you think? Do you think that they would just move on just because you are now with Ayo? Ayo knows that he's lost. What he was expecting and what he's got are two different things. He was expecting Mimi to kick off. He was expecting Mimi to be crying. And because Mimi hasn't given him that, he doesn't know what to do. This is why he's trying to sort of get into her good graces and hopefully persuade her that he can keep her in the love triangle. Whereas Mimi has moved on from the triangle. She wants more for herself than that. So I can't wait to see what happens. The islanders get ready for the night. And because Mimi is single, she is not vulnerable. She's not up for votes for the dumping. Everybody else is up for votes. And I hope Nicole is vulnerable, because somebody needs to shake her, because it's too much. Kieran doesn't deserve to go through what he's going through with her. I think that's enough. But anyway, that's the evil part of me speaking. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 28. Bye guys.